We're still reviewing the Punch. Who's ready to go?
Yeah, so the Lagos State Governor, Sanwo-Olu, urges parents to instill values in children. Over the weekend, during the Ile-Kabri celebration, the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by his deputy, Hamzat, spoke to parents of the need to instill good morals and values in their children. As he says, our children are the leaders of tomorrow, and as parents, it is very sacred. It's our sacred responsibility to guide them in paths of truth, discipline, and obedience to Almighty Allah. And it says that parents have to look after their children because they're the ones that make up the major percentage of the society. He underscored the critical role of parental guidance in nation building, also stressing that the younger generation must be nurtured with strong moral and religious values. And I actually agree, because it has become very, very imperative to look at the nurturing and the training of our kids, saying that most of them are turning out wrong these days.
Right.
Amazing.
I have the story on the floods in Niger. Nearly 2 weeks after devastating floods swept through Mokwa local government area of Niger State, now the residents are beginning to complain about the stench of decaying corpses, believed to be those of flood victims who are still buried under sand and debris. They've described the lingering odor as a reminder of the tragedy and a growing health concern. On Wednesday, May 28th and Thursday, May 29th will forever be an indelible memory, very unforgettable for the people of Mokwa, as an estimated 200 people were drowned in a flood that followed the rainfall. Now, the Niger State Emergency Management Agency has said that over 50 houses and their occupants were swept away by the flood. And now, days after the flood water has receded, the agency has announced that, corpses are being recovered in different parts of the town, with some of them being buried in the ground, while others are covered by debris. Now, one of the residents, Esther Wanosike, said the stench has become a major concern. The smell has intensified, especially when the wind blows through the area. She sells food in a makeshift shop. The smell is overwhelming, and she's concerned about the potential health implications. Customers who come to eat, they cannot breathe well because of the stench. They need to fumigate. So these are the things that we need to talk about. When a disaster like this happens, it's not just the immediate impact. It's all of the things that happens
the long-term effects along with it. Okay,
it's really sad.
Sad. Okay, do I have the story here? I don't have that. Yes, I do. They said over 1,500 health professionals under the Environmental Health Council of Nigeria have not been paid salaries in the last 20 months. Odiroma is not good. That's almost the inability of the council to pay stemmed from the directive of the federal government to cut off funding from certain agencies of government. Environmental Health Council of Nigeria was established by the Acts of 2002 as amended, and is Nigeria's primary body overseeing environmental health regulations and a wide range of activities that prevent the spread of diseases. So he said in 2014, during the Ebola outbreak in Nigeria, it was the environmental health officers that played a vital role in fighting the virus. Also in 2020, during COVID, remember, in Nigeria, it was still the environmental health officers that were deployed to all entry borders, including airports, seaports, and land borders. And most importantly, the regulators were also at the field carrying out internal and external decontamination of the premises to prevent, all of those viruses. Now, they have not been paid for whatever reason. I think the government has to revisit. There are people that are critical workers in the sectors in the country that now pet go, they pet them.
Yeah.
Okay, Daily Sun. Fubara will be impeached even if it defects APC, Okocha Rivers chair. The judges urge President to reinstate governor, lawmakers. Tinubu comments Wike urges him to ignore busybodies as minister renames ICC after president. June 12, Senate moves to make presidential address to National Assembly mandatory. Nigeria to lose $10 million from World Bank credit over delays and compliance issues. World Bank should not take our money.
World Bank. So the federal government risks forfeiting $10 million from a World Bank credit due to a series of delays and compliance issues within the Fiscal Governance and Institutions Project. It's called FGIP. They said the initiative, totaling $103 million, is aimed at enhancing public financial management and is financed through a credit facility from the International Development Association. This is the prominent lending arm of the World Bank. So there's an official report from the World Bank that was addressed to the Federal Ministry of Finance and was outlining the reasons for the forfeiture. It says that the ministry has requested a cancellation of $0.9 million in unused funds allocated for technical assistance and an additional $9.5 million linked to performance-based conditions that remain unmet as the project draws to a close. Among the items is also cancelled is a $4 million audit of key revenue-generating agencies, specifically FIRS and Nigeria Customs Service, so on and so forth. So they're saying these delays stem from various issues. So they're saying there's a contract management challenges that they're facing, pending documentation requirements from CBN. You know, there's so many other things you just stated. I mean, the report is quite long, and they're saying that, but in spite of these challenges and delays that, and some of the missed performance targets, FGIP has recorded notable progress in certain areas. The World Bank report indicated that Nigeria's non-oil revenue exceeded expectations, reaching 153% of the budgeted targets in 2024, which is 64.9% baseline recorded in 2018. There's improvement in that is largely attributed to the country's exchange rates. So this improvement is attributed to the exchange rate policy. That's the unification policy, and enhanced tax administration via tax pro-max systems, reforms that automated revenue collection processes for various ministries and agencies. So the report pointed out that the capital expenditure execution remains below the projected target at just 50%, which is short of the desired 65%. So just get our act together.
They should not take our
compliance.
money. We will try and get our act together, yes, but please, they should not try it.
So the tactical squad of critical national assets and infrastructure in Abuja has arrested 12 suspected vandals who have involved themselves in the vandalism of different public assets. So this happened in Abuja metropolis during the Salah holiday, and they said they had suspects like Stephanie Stephen from Adamawa, Samson Dan Ladi from Kaduna, Yakubu Tangod, and amongst others. They were arrested at DBLO Construction Company at Jahi with 6 pieces of galvanized iron rods. And they said they were arrested at Karu site. Some of them too were arrested at Karu site, Abuja municipal area, and they caught them vandalizing telecommunication mast accessories. So it's so sad, and you know how it is with our country. This thing starts happening. It starts happening little by little, and then by the time you know it, you can't control it anymore. So, but I like the fact that.
Yes, I have one on insecurity. The residents of a certain community in Plateau State are crying out, we're under siege. The Dar community in Kanam local government, Plateau State, have said that the indigenes have been turned into vigilantes in the area as they are constantly being attacked by bandits and kidnappers. The community has therefore raised alarms about the continued attacks and urged the governor, Caleb Muftwang, to take action and stop the incessant attacks in the community. The community, under the aegis of Jaya Patriotic Forum, Jaya Chiefdom, speaking at a press briefing at the NUG Press Center in Jos on Monday, has expressed dismay that the forest separating Taraba, Bauchi and Plateau states has become a no-go area by bandits who constantly waylay people on the road and slaughter them like chicken. And so this is very sad. I mean, this has been going on for a while. And imagine when you feel like a prisoner, even in your own home, in your own neighborhood, you can't move around, you live every day in fear. It must be a terrible way to live. You know, on the one hand, we're complaining about the economic hardships, and then you live with fear for your life and the life of your family every day. It's like clockwork.
I don't know when it's going to end. Let's move on now to the Nigerian Tribune. SEC orders public companies to release old dividends. ASU declares no pay, no work, any month salary is delayed. Wike renames ICC after Tinubu. Don't pay attention to busybodies. President tells FCT minister, says usage of facility not free. What stories do we have in the Tribune?
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay.
Yes, I have Mokwa flood as well, but this we're hearing from the Executive Secretary of the National Human Rights Commission, Dr. Tony Ojukwu, SAN. He stressed the need for improved disaster preparedness and protection for internally displaced persons in the country. He said that this is, of course, on the back of the Mokwa flood. He said that, okay, so they launched a new quarterly human rights and internal displacement dashboard, which they say is the first of its kind in Nigeria. And this is in response to the growing displacement crisis that we have. So usually when things like this happen, people are sent off to IDP camps or things like that, but there are issues also there that need to be sorted out. The rights of those who are displaced is also important. Yeah. So he says this initiative, developed in partnership with United Nations High Commission, will track and address the challenges facing IDPs, asylum seekers, refugees and returnees. He said that the Commission recorded over 40,000 displacement incidents and 1,460 rights complaints from vulnerable groups, and that many continue to suffer from inadequate shelter, lack of health care, systematic rights violations. So that's what we're saying when crisis happen. Just the crisis is one thing. After that, there are so many things that happen.
Something else.
Yes. So in relation to the Mokwa flood as well, they said that the governor of Borno State donated 300 million to the flood victims. He also commiserated with the governor of Niger State, who, you know, was grateful for his donations as well.
To them. Our hearts go out to them.
Really?
That's a very terrible natural disaster to happen to a community. Thank you so much, ladies. That's all we can take on the newspaper reviews. When we come back, we continue the show.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.